Hi everyone, it's lovely to be here with you, connecting soul to soul. I am Sharron, I am from Quantum Soul, and I'm going to be talking about you, your soul journey, where you came from, what you're doing here, what are the contracts, what happens before you got here, and what happens when you leave. There's so much involved. It's a beautiful story. It's a tapestry of adventure and creation. It's all about joy and laughter. It's about challenges and planning and love. Oh yeah. It's a whole mix of the most beautiful experiences. And I'm going to tell you how it all works and how it all fits together. Basically, starting at the very beginning of it all, it starts with the creation of you, your soul energy. It starts off as a thought, actually. It's a thought from the Godhead, Him, herself. The Godhead is made up of two faces, because like with everything in the universe, there has to be equal balance. There has to be duality for it to work. And the Godhead is no different. You have the feminine side of God, or the feminine face of God, which is love, empathy, healing, emotions. Then you've got the masculine side of the Godhead, which is all about intellect and intelligence and experiences, thought. So the masculine face of God is the creator in the physical sense of the word. So the masculine head of God is the reason why your soul is created in the first place. And what's interesting is that creative energy that creates worlds created you, and you have that creative spark within you too, which makes you your most powerful creator. So the journey of the soul starts with thoughts. You have the masculine face of God creating thousands of tiny little excited sparks of life, soul energy. But you can't just create thousands of sparks of soul energy for nothing. There's got to be a reason for it. The mighty force of the Creator, the divine, the Godhead, doesn't just do things randomly. That is how important you are. So you are created from thoughts. And all these little soul energies are all collected and put into groups. Because there is a reason for you being created as you are. The reason is that experiences that you gather over the different incarnations that you choose as soul go back to the Godhead. That information is collected and stored and recycled for use later. Although I must just stress, of course, God's later is not the same as our later. As we are dealing in quantum energy, so souls are being created all the time to fulfill a need and a purpose. And all of the experiences go up to the Godhead and add to intellect to create more worlds. It's amazing. It's amazing. So back to the journey of your soul energy. So we're going back now to these little groups of soul. And each group of soul energy, if you can think, you have sort of maybe 7 to 10, maybe 12 soul light energies within a group. And each of these groups is called a cadence. So each cadence is filled with souls, and each soul is given a personality. Now these personalities are known as archetypes. Okay. And the reason for you having an archetype, or for a soul to have an archetype or a personality, is that every incarnation planned after that revolves around the energy of that archetype. So you've got your groups of souls. Each has its archetype. There can be 2 or 3 of the same archetype. It doesn't really matter. The point is that you have a variety of experiences that you're going to bring together as this little cadence. This can be your soul tribe. This can be your soul family, your soul group. You can incarnate together. You can incarnate separately. And the whole time you're going to come back to your cadence. After every incarnation is completed, every cycle is completed, you're going to come home to your cadence. It's your safe space. So you've got your group, your tribe, you've got your archetype, you're set to go. Now what's the next step? Well, the whole point is that you have a contract with source energy to create experiences. So you're going to go forth and create experiences. How do you do this? You're going to create life in human form. Okay? We're only going to focus on human journeys for the purpose of this discussion. So you're going to create in your soul energy a whole lot of incarnations set out around a theme. Because as soul energy, and according to your contract with the divine, with the Godhead, you're going to collect a whole lot of experiences. But you can't just go willy-nilly with no plan. You've got to have a plan. The plan is you choose a theme. You choose a theme. And this theme enables you to plan ahead of time. You can, as a soul energy, plan 4 or 5, maybe 6 lives in advance, human lives, incarnations on this planet. And you do that so that your soul energy has the best experiences to feed back to source. So now you're sitting there and you think, right, you being soul energy, of course, I want to experience service. I want to experience everything around service. Service is a big thing. It's a huge thing. And there are many, many souls experiencing this at the same time. But it's not just about giving. It's about receiving as well. It's about balance. Remember, balance is what makes the universe function properly. So you've got your cadence full of personalities, different soul archetypes, planning incarnations ahead of time. Now remember, time is, in human words, linear thoughts. But in spirit, it's infinite. So when your soul energy is planning a succession of incarnations to create experiences to go back to source energy, lives can be created according to our timeline. BC, current, 17th century, future. Any timeline that spirit wants is quantum. There is no limit. It's fantastic. So your soul energy has now decided to plan 4 or 5 lifetimes within a certain theme of, as we're talking about service. Now, in the mix, your soul energy isn't just going to come on its own in this whole mix of experiences and things that are going to be happening. You want to be able to serve others as you are going to be served in return. So you have to have contracts. Contracts are put in place. And you bond with other soul energies working towards the same outcome as you. So in other words, You plan your 4 or 5 lifetimes ahead, and you've decided working around service, but other souls might have the same thing. They might have a different theme. They might want to work as victim or builder. They might want to work around addiction. They might want to work around loss. They might want to work around being a rescuer or a banner carrier. It really doesn't matter. The point is, you all come together as a contract, and you promise, under sacred promise, sacred contract, to work with each other, to serve on some level. And this is where you get your soul contracts. This is why when you come into human form, you're like, why am I in this relationship with this person? This doesn't serve me. You've all heard that before. Step away from that which doesn't serve you, where you're not getting the most experience from. You might be in a situation where you are so overwhelmed. You might be in a situation where you are an abuser. And there's no judgment in this. I'm just saying it as it is. Because everything that you do, you are serving on some level. Now you come along, little server soul. You've got your soul archetype. You've got your soul group. You've got your planned incarnations. You've got your contracts in place. Now, wanting to experience a server situation in human form, you need a personality as that human. Now you've got to create a life theme. You've got to create the family that you're born into, your ancestor line, because of course, as you're born into a family, you are taking on that whole ancestry with it. You adopt your genetics. You adopt what you look like, your reactions to things. You know, you might have heard of the question, is this inherited or is this learned? And that's where it comes from, behaviors. That's one life theme. Now you have an opportunity for a second life theme as well, because now, together with all your contracts and your choices being a server and your soul archetype, you're now also having to create situations that are going to serve you on a soul level. Because otherwise there would really be no point in any of this. That's why you have the contracts. You have all of this that's leading up to this point. And as a second soul theme, because you get 2 of them, you've chosen what you are. What are your challenges going to be around being a server? Okay. Are you going to struggle with the masculine? Are your challenges going to be around relationships with other people? Are your challenges going to be around abuse? Are your challenges going to be around serving from a place of pure love where you go without and everybody gets the benefits? Are you going to be a victim? Are you going to be a builder, an enabler? Are you going to be a leader? Are you going to serve a community and work through greed? You see, the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are absolutely endless. And as you go through your cycle, you've worked out all of these things basically in advance. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago how your soul energy can plan a life in 2020, can plan a life in the 1700s, can plan a life in 2050, and then plan the next incarnation in 700 BC. And your soul energy has planned these in succession. In human form, you're bouncing like a yo-yo back and forth between lives, and it's okay. Because the point of this is the experiences gained that go back to source. So, here we are. We've got all this stuff planned out. It's ready to we're ready to rumble, we're ready to go. But we can't just come here with nothing. We've got no support. Because when you come here, when you cross through, you go over that river, you forget everything that ever happened in spirit. In step your support. Those are your spirit guides, your loved ones, your ancestors. They all come through. And there's more contracts. These contracts go on forever. But they are spiritually binding promises made in unconditional love. So in come your spirit guides. Some of them have shared past lives with you, which makes that bond even more sacred. Some of them are serving for them. They're serving for their own contracts in spirits. They don't want to be in human incarnation and serve. They can serve from spirit. It's a win-win. Right, so you're ready. You're in. Everything is set up. You're rearing to go. You are so excited. You come through that birth channel. And as you come through that birth channel, you forget most of what you have planned. But on a soul level, everything is already imprinted in your Akashic records, ready to be experienced and lived through and grown into. So, through the birth canal you come. Your earth mom's waiting for you, your earth father, your earth family. And sometimes all a soul really wants to experience is that. And that is where you would get a stillborn child. Sometimes all a soul wants to experience is the love and knowing and wisdom from a mother in utero. And that's it. They don't want to experience the birth. They don't want to experience what comes after. And that is where you would get a miscarriage or an abortion. So let's say there's nothing like that happening, right? And you're coming through that birth canal and you are in, bam, and it's like a plop into this three-dimensional reality from a much higher dimension, and it's a wake-up call, and it's like, no wonder babies cry, because it's crazy. Your energy goes pow, and you hear, oh my God, what is this place? It's so loud. There's energy coming at me from every different direction, but it's part of the process which you contracted to with Source. So you're going to go through. You're going to be given a name. You're going to be given labels, conditions. You're going to be told that you have to believe stuff so that you can belong. And the point of all of that, which you wanted, you asked for it. Yes, it was done in soul, but for a reason. So you go through your life. You have your family, you have your challenges, you have your soulmate energies, you have your contracts, you have your loved ones, your tribe, you have your spiritual views, you have your beautiful experiences, you have your sadness. But your soul is very clever. Being given free will in soul, as is everything, there's free will. You also have the choice of when you want to leave, because it's hard here. It's hard. You get given exit points. So these exit points are a little controversial, because on a human level, we don't like to understand that an exit point is a joyful thing. We feel that pain so deeply because we are left with that contract to deal with and to see through. But let's say a soul decides an exit point is what they want to take. When they want to take it is up to them. So let me explain what an exit point is. In soul, you get to choose your exit points, 4 or 5 chances in human form that you can take to leave this place. Sounds all very simple, doesn't it? And it is really, because on a soul level, everything is pre-planned. There is no fear involved. When you're planning your incarnations, there is no fear. It is literally everything is done in wonder, with unconditional love, and it is so exciting. An exit point would be something like a car accident, where it's a life and death situation, a chronic disease that leaves you hospitalized in intensive care and it's hit and miss. An exit point could be a suicide attempt that is not final. An exit point could even be the thought of leaving. These are all set up because on a soul level, you know that you have some challenging things to deal with down here. So let's say you go through your entire incarnation. You don't take any of those exit points. You get to the end. You've reached your final years, your twilight years. Okay. And you go to sleep. You exit peacefully, honoring your contract with every soul that you have been with, honoring your contract with Source, honoring your contract with your spirit guides, with your animals, honoring your contract with yourself. You exit, you pass back through, you are met by spirit in the most beautiful vibration. But now you've got to adjust. You've come from higher dimensions into 3 dimensions. You've been in and out of 3, 4, and 5 dimensions your entire human existence. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now you're going back again from that lower dimension into a much higher dimension, and you step back into soul, back into your cadence. The only thing you retain is your archetype, your personality. Everything else goes through to the records. It's housed in the Akashic records as a vibration. It's a history of your soul journey. And what happens? Your experiences go straight back to the Godhead. There you go. And what seems as an eternity to you here in human form, it's the blink of an eye to God. But it does not make it any less important, because without those experiences, new worlds, new life, new soul cannot be created. That is how important you are, how amazing you are. So on your human journey, it is so important for you to honor the choices of other people. Don't stand in judgment. Everybody has got their challenges that they have set out for reasons unknown to you. You just stick to what you've got to do. You do it with the best energy that you can do. You put in every ounce of who you are. Honor your journey. If someone takes an exit point, honor their journey. If it's your animal, honor their journey. Any sentient soul, any beautiful soul living on this planet at this time is serving on some level. And as you live your life and as they live their life, they are creating opportunities and experiences that go up to the Godhead, as is their sacred contract. So everybody around you is gaining your wisdom, your experience, your love. You are serving yourself, your soul tribe, your contracts, your guides, source energy, and everything around you benefits. Thank you for sharing this time with me and for hearing me out. I hope you enjoyed this experience. I loved being with you, and I wish you the very, very best. May you always be blessed. May you always walk in the sun. And may you always remember that you are your own creator. You are that powerful, and you are love.